It's not a sound you really want to hear when you're driving down the road, is it? Well, hello there. It's Liam from Unique Cars and Parts, and I'm with Allison and a VL Turbo Interceptor.
Yep.
There aren't too many of these around, not in this sort of condition.
No.
But you were saying just before we turned the camera on that this car's 30 years old now.
Yes, 1988. The car we've just traced its history, found out that it was stationed at Ararat as an unmarked TOG car, brought out of Preston Motors and sold back to Smiths in Geelong, and we're the third owners.
The third owners, so it's got a very good lineage. It would have served time at the police force, and you would normally think an Interceptor would come with a V8, but this doesn't have the V8, does it?
No, it's got the RB30 turbo manual.
Which is, for those that don't know what the RB32 turbo is, that's a Nissan engine.
It is.
With a turbocharger plonked on.
Yes, that's right.
And this become very popular with, shall we say, the hoons.
Yes.
And so there's not that many survivors left, are there?
No. A lot of them have been customised, used for drag racing, etc. We've actually spent a lot of time in the last couple of years changing it back to its original, how it was back in the police force, and trying to respect its history.
And you've done a mighty fine job. You can tell just by looking at the wheels, it's got the Interceptor wheels on it. You've managed to obtain a blue light. That only comes out at car shows, I'm guessing?
It does, yes. We don't use it on the highway.
You're never tempted to pull it out when somebody's being a bit of a dick on the road?
I think it could probably come in handy, but I don't think the current police would be too happy with that. We have spoke to a few ex-police members before who said that they weren't any good after you hit 80 k's. They started sliding backwards down the roof.
And this thing would be good for well more than 80 k's. What was the top speed of these things?
I'm not really sure. My husband's better with the technical side of it, but we were told by the gentleman in Ararat who used to drive them that it flew. That was his. Was his description.
And I can see that from the instrumentation, there is no turbocharger, sort of like giving you an idea of how much PSI or whatever is going through the engine.
There is a little boost gauge just down underneath the steering wheel.
I didn't see that. Now, was that put on by the police?
No, that's ours, so that we know what the car's doing.
Okay. And it's the only modification you brought it all back to the original sort of police state.
Yes, yeah. All the original police radio equipment, the LTS siren is in there as well. That's all working. So we bring that out for car shows and. Yeah.
Now this thing is old enough that it could be on historic plates, but I notice that it's not on historic plates. Do you drive it a lot?
No, it's on minimal drive. We only really take it out now for car shows. It used to be my husband's daily driver because we've owned the car for just over 15 years. But as it started to get a little bit older in age, we decided to put it aside and keep it just to bring it out for car shows and so.
Now I need to check, just looking at the front of it, it's got the original. Are they the very original plates that it came with by the look of it?
They were the first plates that come out after the police force. So when it was sold back to the general public and it was put back onto standard plates, they would have been the original ones back then.
Okay. And do you find it a comfortable drive?
Yes.
And 5-speed?
Yes.
And you've even got what looks like an old-fashioned what is it, camera detector, or what is that, the mobile speed detector unit?
Yep, radar gun.
Radar gun, that's the word I was looking for. And you've got the police torch, yep. and some, even an old police shirt. But are you ever tempted just to pull over to the side of the road and pull out that speed gun? And
we have tested it just once to make sure that it was working when we first purchased it.
Did you use it on this car?
No, not on this car. We're in a different car.
And generally speaking, where everyone's sticking to the speed limit?
Yes, generally.
Generally. Okay, well, look, Allison, thank you for showing us over your car. These things are just revered with Holden lovers, and to find a turbo in this kind of condition, not molested and looking as fine as it does, it's a real treat. And that's why I sort of wanted to have a chat to you about it, because you just don't see them looking like this anymore. But it's been fantastic. Thank you for taking 5 minutes out of your day. Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We're going to try out the original VL Interceptors lights and siren. not a sound you really want to hear when you're driving down the road, is it? Oh, I see. This thing's even got its original map light. You know, for the for when the police would have a passenger, they'd have that so they could take their notes down. And no navmans back there. It was using the Melways, or for anyone in Sydney, it'd be the Gregories. Thanks, Allison. Good on you.